All right, let's wrap up the review. We're finding the area of the shaded part of the figure. The hint that you were given was that you need to find the squares area, and then you need to find the triangles area. How would we go about finding the squares area? Length times width, or base times height. And the base and the height are both 10 since it's a square. So the area of the square is 100 meters squared. All right, now we have the triangles area. How do you find the area of a triangle, Keelan? Very good. Base times height divided by 2. What are the base and the height of this triangle? 5 and 5. So we're going to multiply 5 times 5 and divide that by 2. What is the area of the triangle? Anybody? Anybody know what half of 25 is, Fisher? 12.5. So 12.5 meters squared. Okay, so we have the area of the square. We have the area of the triangle. Basically, it looks like a piece of paper with a triangle cut out of it. So what do we need to do with the two areas? Subtract them. So 100 minus 12.5 leaves you with an area of 87.5 meters squared. All right, on this next one, we want the area of the compound shape below. What would be a good starting point? Yeah, cutting the shape. You want to cut it into 2 pieces. So if we do that, we could cut it here at the top and have a square, and then we could cut it down here, or separate it, and we would have a rectangle. You can. You can cut it any direction you want to, as long as you have shapes that you can find the area of. Now, the top, we need to find its area, so base times height, because we're working with 2 rectangles. What's the base and the height for the one that's shaded in blue?
5 and 5.
5 times 5. And that would be? 25. Okay, so our top is 25 centimeters squared. But now we have to do the bottom, and I know the picture is not drawn perfectly or anywhere near accurately. Just go by the measurements. What's the base and the height based on the information given? 12 and 1. Like I said, don't go by what you think it is. Go by the information. If on the right side, the whole right side is 6, 5 of it is in blue. So how much more is left in red? This part's 5. That part's 1. I know they look the same. You go by the measurements, not by what you see. Okay? The drawings are not perfect. So 12 times 1, base and height. So 12 centimeters squared. How would we find the area of the full shape? Add them back up. So 25 plus 12, and we get 37 centimeters squared. All right, let's answer the following questions about the circle. We've run across 3 circle questions so far in this review, so I would expect a few circle questions to be on this quiz. What is the radius? Fisher. 7.5. It's the piece given to us. So 7.5 inches is the radius. What is the diameter? Lewis. 15 inches. How did you get that?
I just added 7.5 plus 7.5.
Okay, so doubled your radius. And you have 15 inches. Circumference is pi times diameter. So how would we find the circumference of this circle? Keelan. 3.14 times 15. And that gives us a circumference of how much, Keelan? 47.1 inches. Notice radius, diameter, circumference were just the unit. No exponents here. They're just measuring a distance. Area, pi r squared. So how are we going to go about finding this radius? Keelan?
Pi times the radius squared.
Yeah, so 3.14 times 7.5 to the second power, or we could just write 7.5 times 7.5. Either of those would work, because pi r squared is the same as pi times r. However you need to remember it. Got a couple people putting it in a calculator. Braden, you got an answer? What you got? One's.
Wait, never mind. Just never mind.
Okay, we're going to never mind that.
Yeah.
Malik.
176.695.
176.625.
Yeah, I was right. Yeah, that just sounded stupid when I said it.
Okay, so we were right. What is the volume of the triangular prism? Basic rectangular prism is length times width times height. What are we viewing the triangular prism as?
Triangle area times
Base times.
base times height divided by 2.
Base height times this.
Y'all are really close. Okay, I want you to think about a rectangular prism. Okay? There's my box. Okay? A box is length times width times height. If I want to turn it into a triangular prism, what would I have to do? How do you turn a rectangle into a triangle?
Do you just
Cut it.
You cut it in half. So if I cut my rectangular prism in half, it becomes a triangular prism.
Oh, that way.
So how would you modify the length times width times height formula to be for a triangular prism? Fisher?
Oh, I have the answer.
I want to know how we'd modify our formula.
Length times width times height divided by 2.
There you go. Length times width times height divided by 2. Which number, since we have 4, which number is not used for the volume of the triangular prism? The 8.5. The one that is slanted on the triangle, we do not use for volume. So we're going to do length times width times height divided by 2. So no slanted height.
I do got some colors.
All right, so 8 times 5 times 14 divided by 2. Fisher, you said you had the answer a minute ago. 280 what? Feet
Squared. Cubic inches.
cubed, which is to the third power. You will have to be aware of units on this quiz.
I got it right.
Area gets an exponent of 2 or is squared. Volume gets the exponent of 3 or is cubed. Circumference, perimeter, radius, diameter, length don't get any exponents. Area and volume get the exponents. All right, we have a map scale. We are told that 1/4 of an inch between locations represents 4.2 miles in actuality. We are wanting to know the actual distance if they are 2 3/4 inches apart. So I want to know how you thought through this. I'll give you about 30 seconds to think it out. Okay, let's take a look at this one. What do we have in ideas to solve this? Keelan, you seem to be the only one wanting to talk this one.
So what I did, it said 1/4 of an inch is 4.2 miles, right?
Okay, 1/4 of an inch is 4.2 miles.
So what I did, I just multiplied 4.2 times 11. That's what I got.
How did you get 4.2 times 11?
Because 2 3/4 is 11. Is 11 1/4. So I just added that together.
Okay, 2 3/4 is equal to 11/4. So that means there are 11 1/4 in there.
So I multiplied it by 4.2 and got 46.2.
Very good. So take the numerator that you found, and you did 4.2 times 11, and what was your final answer?
46.2 miles.
46.2. I said if you were good with cross multiplying, this would be a good cross multiplying question. You have your 1/4 over your 4.2. You have your 2 3/4 inches over the missing miles. So if you need to cross multiply 2 3/4 times 4.2 and then divide it by 1/4, you would also get your same answer. So however you think through your problems, you should be good on this one. All right, triangle 2 is a scale drawing of triangle 1, meaning there is a ratio occurring between the enlargement of the triangle. We need to figure out what the length of side B is. Fisher, how are we going to do it?
Subtract triangle 2 numbers from triangle 1.
Not subtract them. Divide them. When we have a scale drawing, something is being multiplied by something, and we need to find out what that multiplier is. Triangle 1, all the measurements are being multiplied by some number to get the measurements on triangle 2. That's what scale is. So we actually need to divide the sides that match. The 44 matches to 20, 27 matches to 12, and the B matches to the 16. You're wanting to find out what that number is that relates all of them. It's kind of like the constant of proportionality. You're trying to figure out the relationship between your numbers. 45 over 20, 27 over 12 have what common factor?
Numbers.
2.25 is the factor that they have. So triangle 1 is being multiplied by 2.25 to get the measurements on triangle 2. So how are we going to find B, Sam? 16 times 2.25 will give us 36 millimeters. Excellent. I'm hoping you took good notes, because every bit of notes that you took on this particular review will guarantee to help you on this assignment, okay?
Is on Edge Elastic.
It is on Edge Elastic, and the password?
It's password.
No, password. We have to have a fun password since.
Hi. Can it be?
Oh, it was a national day yesterday.
Let's fill up.
Mardi Gras is Fat Tuesday.
The baby part.
That's what it says.
I did not think of doing Mardi Gras for today.
No, that's just what I looked up. It
So
says-
I did a national day for yesterday.
Still filming.
Grilled cheese. It is. Yesterday was National Grilled Cheese Day.
See, it says Fat Tuesday. I'm finna go to New York.
Okay,
so I can eat.
All right. Your password for this quiz is grilled cheese. You have the remainder of the class period. If it does not get done, I'll decide by the end of the class what we're going to do about that and how much time you have to get it done.
Can I do that?
All right.
Can I get it over?
Good luck.